Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of my RCT2 Mega City, where I built a huge futuristic city in Rollercoaster Tycoon 2. Now, in the previous episodes I worked on the middle part of this of the city, where there will be a theme park on top of these skyscrapers. Now, something which we don't have yet is a way for a guest to actually get up there. And that's what I've built this structure for already in the previous episode. And yeah, in this episode I want to actually finish it. I want to have several elevators to take the guests up to the park level. And I want to make the actual park entrance. And maybe if I have some time left, maybe I'll also build a penthouse for my first Patreon characters. But yeah, first off, let's start with the entrance of the park. Now, I think these elevators are going a bit slow for futuristic ones. So with the right vehicle editor you can actually make them a lot faster. But if you do this, you have to be careful to only do this as they're moving down or if they're standing still. Or else they will overshoot the station and yeah, then they will be stuck and then you have to do it again. So yeah, right now they're all moving down, so this should be a safe moment to pause the game and change their speed to a much higher value. So their maximum speed is now set to 15 and I will set that to 45 for all three of the elevators. Alright, they're now a lot faster. Oh, and they all overshoot the station. So yeah, I guess I have some tweaking to do here. Alright, I've now set their speed to a speed of 30, which should be safe. But yeah, if one of them will get stuck at some point, I'll probably notice it. So yeah, this will just be something to keep watching. I think they should be alright with the speed which I've currently set them to. Alright, the elevators are now complete. Well, that's of course just the rides themselves. So yeah, I made sure to put all their entrances or the openings for the guests to enter them in the middle. So yeah, I moved all their entrances and exits. Well, they will all be inside these buildings, so they won't be really visible anyway. But yeah, with the tile inspector you can just move entrances and exits around, so that's a really nice thing. Yeah, I will make the track invisible later, but first I'll check if I actually did all of this correctly. I wouldn't want guests dropping down all the way to the bottom after exiting the ride here, or something similar like that. So I will quickly test the ride. I will put some guests in the park and then I'll see how they do. And of course I'll also make a path from the top all the way to the bottom here, so guests don't actually get lost here. Alright, it looks like one of the elevators actually got stuck here. So yeah, I guess having guests in it does something with the weight. I'm not really sure, but this is definitely something that we'll want to avoid. And I see another one getting stuck. So I'll probably just leave them at their default speed, just so I'm sure that they will never, that this will never happen to them. Alright, what I find interesting is that there's already some vomit here on the streets, and these elevators are some of the rides with the lowest nausea rating you can have. So it must be a guest who is very intolerant to being nauseous. So I guess it's already time to move in some handyman into the park. Alright, the lower part of this building is now pretty much completed, and the landscaping still looks a little bit strange here in some parts. But yeah, I want to focus on the lower parts in a later episode. I have some really cool plans for that. So yeah, for now I'm quite happy with this. Maybe I'll still put a sign here, some other decorations, but I think it's now good to focus on the top part of this building and the actual walkway that will lead to the park. Alright, the entrance tower is now complete. Now this was a pretty intensive build. Yeah, I had to spend quite some time to get this right, but I'm really happy with the way this looks, especially with these elevators traveling around the outside of the tower. I think that looks really nice. Alright, oh yeah, we have the entrance building now, and I kind of want it to look like an actual park entrance. So what I think I'll do is yeah, make it with some gates, and then we'll have some entertainers for checking the tickets of these guests. Alright, this Peep Editor plugin is really useful for freezing staff members in the right place. So now I just have to wait for this security guard to walk over on this spot. Now that might take a while, but I really don't want to edit these paths here. If it takes too long, I will just do it. But yeah, very useful tool. In this tool you can just select a staff member, and with this button you can freeze them in place, and definitely much more convenient than having to do it with the in-game console. Alright, for the final part of this episode, I want to make another tower here, and that's where I will place myself and our first Patreon of the park. Alright, I've now placed myself and Amy in the park, and with that we have our first patron in the park as well. So thanks a lot for supporting me, Amy, and yeah, I think this is probably the best spot in the park. Alright, I think with that I've done everything I wanted to do in this episode. So yeah, of course made the park entrance with these elevators on the side. Made a little plaza here. Now this is of course not done, but this is something I want to tackle in a separate episode. Yeah, I think the entrance building with the elevator looks pretty cool. I made a little gate here with security guards to check all the guests that come in. I'll hide this underground path so we can pretend it's not here. And in the end I made this little tower here on the side where we have Dirklink and Amy waving at the guests. Alright, hope you enjoyed watching me build. If you liked this episode, please consider giving this video a like. Would really help out my channel. Yeah, and for sure in the next episode I'm going to add something fun to the park again. I might actually start work on the first coaster of the park in the next episode. Or maybe I'll start doing some infrastructure around here. Or maybe I'll even focus on the walkways. There's just so much stuff left to do. I'll find something to work on for sure. Alright, hope you enjoyed watching me build, and I'll see you again in the next video. See you later.